Seraphina's Melodic Adventure, The Willow's Lost Tune. Once upon a time, in a corner of the world where the sun kissed the earth with a warm golden glow, there lived a young fairy named Seraphina. She was as shiny as morning dew, her silver hair sparkling like moonbeams, and her sapphire eyes sparkled with the magic of the stars. Seraphina's home was a snug spot under the roots of an ancient oak tree, snuggled in a mystical glen aglow with twinkling lights and whispering willows. The air was always filled with the sweet smell of jasmine, and laughter echoed as the creatures of the glen played happily. But for all the joy around her, Seraphina carried a quiet worry in her heart. You see, she felt uneasy around new faces, and the thought of meeting strangers made her tiny wings flutter with nervousness. This fear meant that sometimes she would hide behind the willows, watching other fairies play, wishing she could join them without the worry that made her tummy twist in little knots. One day, as Seraphina was playing hide-and-seek with her trusted friend Bramble, a wise badger with chestnut fur and emerald eyes that shined with kindness, she shared her feelings with him. "Bramble," she whispered, "I wish I could be brave around others I don't know." A whisper of courage. Bramble gave her a warm chuckle and said, "Seraphina, my dear, you're not alone. There are many who feel just like you." His words were like a soft breeze, calming her worry. "Remember, every friend was once a stranger." Seraphina nodded, her heart feeling a bit lighter. She thought of another young creature in the glen who had felt the same way but had found the bravery to make new friends. If they could do it, perhaps I can too, she wondered. There was a special game Seraphina wanted to play, one where all the fairies of the glen would join hands and dance under the moonlight, their laughter blending with the night's melody. But her fear held her back, and she could only watch from afar, her heart longing to be part of the magical circle. Deep inside, Seraphina felt a whisper of bravery, like a quiet promise that one day she would find the strength to join. She thought of how she could talk to the flowers and animals with such ease, and how she always knew the right words to make a sad bumblebee smile. "Surely, if I can do that, I can learn to say hello to someone new," she mused. The shimmering key. On a bright sunny day, Seraphina and Bramble were playing by the bubbling brook when they found something amazing. Tucked between two stones was a shining key with delicate wings that hummed a little song. "What's this?" Seraphina giggled, tickled by the key's light buzz. Bramble looked closely and laughed. "Looks like we've found a whisper of a tale waiting to be told." They noticed tiny words glowing on the key, revealing a riddle. "In the glen where secrets stay, find the willow with a story to say. Its song is lost, its voice just a memory. Unlock its tune, and set the melody free." Seraphina felt a spark of excitement. "Could this be a quest?" she asked, her voice shaking with hope. Bramble nodded. "And look here," he said, pointing to more glowing words. "If the willow's song stays hidden, the happiness of the glen will stop." Seraphina's heart skipped a beat. "Could this journey help me face my fear?" she thought quietly. Together, they started their adventure, walking under the canopy of trees, their leaves whispering cheers. Seraphina and Bramble sang a little song to keep their spirits up. "Through the meadow we skip and wander, seeking the willow to return its song. With each step, we find our path, bringing back the music that got lost." New friends and challenges. As they travelled, they talked and laughed, their friendship a light of hope. "You know, Bramble, I'm a little nervous about meeting someone new on our trip," Seraphina shared. Bramble smiled warmly. "We'll do it together, and remember, new friends can be fun." After a while, they arrived at a clearing, not sure which path to choose. That's when the key began to shine, its wings flapping faster. It pointed towards a path lined with bluebells, their heads bobbing as if to say, "This way." With a big breath, Seraphina took the first step. her heart filled with wonder, ready to find the lost song of the Whispering Willow and, maybe, the song of bravery inside herself. The Willow's Lost Tune. As Seraphina and Bramble walked deeper into the enchanted glen, each step seemed to dance with the rhythm of a hidden melody, leading them onwards. The bluebells kept nodding their approval, and the air buzzed with the sound of dragonflies, their wings flickering like tiny flames. Seraphina's heart fluttered with a mix of nerves and excitement, her worries slowly calming down by the loveliness around her. They came to a clearing where the sunlight played hide-and-seek with the shadows, and there, in the centre of the meadow, stood a grand fountain. Its waters sparkled clearer than glass, and around it gathered a bunch of creatures, each more interesting and wonderful than the last. A group of laughing pixies caught Seraphina's attention. Their light wings shone in the sunlight, and their laughter was like the sound of small bells. "Hello!" called out one bold pixie with a spin. "I'm Pippa, and these are my mates. Won't you join our game?" Seraphina felt her mouth go dry, and her wings stiffen with worry. Bramble gave her a light push. "Remember, new friends can be fun," he reminded her with a smile. Taking a big breath, Seraphina moved forward. I'd love to," she said quietly, her voice barely louder than the soft wind. As they played, Seraphina's laughter joined the happy sounds. The pixies were friendly, and with each smile and kind word, her fear seemed to melt away like mist in the morning sun. The special key around her neck glowed softly, its wings moving with joy. When it was time to go, Pippa said, "You're braver than you think, Seraphina. Come play with us again." Seraphina nodded, her heart lighter, as if she had left behind a coat of worry. Feeling successful, they went on, the key pointing them to a grove where the air was thick with the smell of wildflowers. Here, they met a group of talking rabbits, their fur as soft as fluff. The rabbits were getting ready for a feast and invited Seraphina and Bramble to help. "I'm a bit shy with new folks," Seraphina told a friendly rabbit named Thistle. Thistle wiggled her nose with understanding. "We all get a bit unsure sometimes," she said. "But see, you're helping us, and that's a good way to make friends." Seraphina helped lay the table with leaves and petals, and the rabbits shared stories of their adventures. Each story was a thread, creating a picture of friendship and trust. Seraphina found herself joining in, her voice strong and clear. The key made a warm sound, its light a gentle glow in the evening. As the stars started to twinkle above, Seraphina and Bramble said goodbye and carried on their adventure. The key now shone with a brighter light, guiding them to a secret path where the trees whispered old stories. Suddenly, a shadow appeared before them. Grex, the naughty goblin, laughed and blocked their way. "You won't find the Willow's song with me here," he sneered, his blue eye shining with mischief. Seraphina's new confidence shook, but Bramble stood strong. "We're not scared of you, Grex. We're on an adventure and you can't stop us." Grex reached out to take the key, but Seraphina was quicker. "I am brave in new places," she said firmly, her words like protection. "And you, Grex, can't take that from me." To their surprise, Grex's face softened. "You've passed my test," he said, smiling wide. "I was only pretending to help you see how strong you are." With a laugh and a wink, Grex moved aside, and the path opened up before them. The key's light, now a shining guide, leading them to a peaceful pond, where the willow they were looking for stood tall and peaceful. The willow's branches moved softly, but no song could be heard. Seraphina went up to it, her heart filled with all she had learnt. "I am loved, no matter what," she whispered, touching the key to the tree. A tune, pure and sweet, began to flow from the willow, filling the glen with its long-lost song. Seraphina felt a happy tear slide down her cheek. She had found the willow's music, and in doing so, had found her own inner song. With the willow's music back, the key changed back to its first shape. its wings now still but glowing with an inside light. It was a sign of Seraphina's journey, her growth, and the friends she had made. As the moon rose up high, a bridge of moonbeams appeared, leading to their next trip. Seraphina and Bramble crossed with hearts full of thrill and bravery, ready for whatever came next. The glen behind them hummed with life, a concert of new and old friendships, and at its heart, a young fairy who had learnt to say hello to someone new. A new dawn in the glen. As the first light of day painted the glen with a soft pink, Seraphina and Bramble strolled back through the Whispering Willows, their hearts light with victory. The key, now a simple jewellery piece, swung gently around Seraphina's neck, a reminder of the brave steps she had taken. "Tell me, Bramble," Seraphina said, her voice clear and strong. "Have you ever felt afraid? Like I did?" Bramble's chuckle was a cosy sound. "Oh, indeed, my dear. Once I was scared of the dark until I met a glowworm who lit up my burrow. He taught me that there's always a light, even in the darkest places." As they arrived at Seraphina's snug spot, the glen welcomed them with open arms. The ancient oak tree stood tall and proud, its roots a perfect nest for her home. The twinkling lights danced more joyfully, and the sweet smell of jasmine was even more beautiful after their journey. "Look how much I've changed," Seraphina thought, her sapphire eyes reflecting the beauty of the glen. "I've danced with pixies, laughed with rabbits, and even stood up to Grex. I'm not the same fairy who left this place fearing new people." Life in the glen went on, but Seraphina was different. Sometimes her old worries would try to talk to her, but now she knew what to say to them. Every friend was once a stranger, she'd think, and the worry would flutter away like a leaf in the breeze. One star-filled night, Seraphina joined the fairies' dance under the moonlight. Her wings trembled for a moment, but then she remembered the key's light sound. "I am brave in new places," she whispered, and with a happy giggle, she took her spot in the circle, her heart flying with the music. From that night on, Seraphina's laughter was often heard in the glen. She played with the pixies, shared tales with the rabbits, and even helped lost creatures find their path. Bramble was always by her side, his story-filled stories a source of endless fun. Time went by, and Seraphina became a shining light for others. One day, a young fairy with shy eyes came to her. "I'm nervous of meeting new people," the little one said quietly. Seraphina kneeled, her eyes gentle. "It's okay to be you," she said softly. "Once, I felt the same as you. But look at me now. I learnt that making new friends can be fun, and everyone smiles just like me." She told her story, how the key had helped her find her bravery, and how every new hello had been a step to becoming the fairy she was today. The little fairy listened, her face lighting up with hope. Seraphina's journeys didn't stop there. She explored new glens, found secret streams, and even sang with the stars. Every trip was a proof of her bravery, a bravery that had once been hidden but was now as wide as the sky. And so, Seraphina's life was a picture of magical moments, made of friendship threads and the colours of her bravery. She had beaten the whisper of worry that once held her back, and the glen was better for her song. Her story of a young fairy who learnt to say hello to someone new would be shared for years, inspiring all who heard it to find their own melody of bravery.